There are hundreds of thousands of glaciers on Earth, covering a total area of about 16 million square kilometers, which is about 11% of the Earth's land area. By comparison, Russia has an area of just over 17.1 million square kilometers. The only continent with no glaciers at all is Australia. All the local mountains are simply not high enough to be cold enough to form glaciers at similar latitudes on their summits. In Russia, glaciers cover a huge area of 54,531 square kilometers, which is about the size of the whole of Croatia. Scientists count about 7,500 glaciers in our country, most of which are united into large glacial systems. There are 22 of them in our country. Glaciers contain huge reserves of fresh water. So huge that if they all suddenly melted, the level of the world's oceans would rise significantly, which would lead to a global catastrophe. The speed of glacier movement can be very different. It depends on many factors: relief, temperature, humidity, and many others. It can be 1 to 2 centimeters per day or up to 10 meters for the same period of time. Glaciers are the main source of icebergs, floating ice that can be very dangerous. Icebergs form by breaking off from ice shelves sliding into the sea or ocean. The thickness of glaciers can be measured in meters or many dozens or even hundreds of them. For example, in Norway there is a famous glacier Svartisen, the ultimate thickness of which reaches up to 636 meters. More precisely, Svartisen is two glaciers, one of which is interesting because it is the lowest in Eurasia, descending from 1594 meters above sea level to 20 meters. Most of the glaciers go to the USA, where they cover an area of about 75,000 square kilometers, almost 30% more than in Russia. Almost all of them are located in the northern states, mainly in the mountains of Alaska. In recent decades, almost all glaciers in the world have been slowly melting due to global climate change. In the Himalayas alone, scientists estimate that they lose about 8 billion tons of mass annually due to melting ice. The Lambert Glacier is the largest glacier in the world. It is 470 kilometers long and 30 to 120 kilometers wide. It is located in Antarctica and accounts for about 8% of all Antarctic ice. And it is also moving, and quite fast, overcoming about a kilometer per year, that is about 3.3 meters per day. Not only rivers have tributaries, but also glaciers. For example, the aforementioned Lambert Glacier has many tributaries, the largest of which is the Fisher Glacier, which also has a huge length of about 190 kilometers. Glacial ice often appears blue or blue rather than white. This is because in old glaciers the density of the ice is very high, it shrinks under its own weight, thus displacing tiny air bubbles that make it white and partly transparent. The southernmost glacier in Europe is in Italy. You can see it on the volcano Etna, but not on the slope, but in the cave Grotta del Gelo, Cave of Frost in Italian. The cave was formed after the eruption of 1947, and gradually filled with ice, the volume of which, however, is small, about 1,500 cubic meters. The absolute speed record was once set by the Jakobshavn Glacier, located in Greenland. As measurements taken in 2003 showed, it moved at a speed of up to 40 meters per day, covering a distance of 12.8 kilometers per year. Glaciers in the European Alps are melting fastest due to climate change. Scientists have calculated that if the situation does not change, by the end of the XXI century their area will shrink by 10 to 20 times compared to the area they occupied at the beginning of this century. Thanks for being with them. Give them a like and subscribe to the channel.